Hello moms and dads, and welcome to 2022. Here we are, our first day of school. It's as I'm making this video, it's 10:05. The students have just had their snack break, all very happy to see each other and catch up with each other. Even more excitement for the grade 3s and the grade 1s, as for those of you that did come to school this morning for drop-off would have noticed that we have lovely new AstroTurf that's been put out in the sections where the palm trees are, so kids can actually go and sit there and not worry about any ants or wet grass, as lovely as that is, but still that they have a nicer, larger area to be seated on, and that we can spread out our grades. So they were very excited about the new area as well. Yes, welcome back, and what a start. It is always interesting as we have things keeping us on our toes, shall I say. So firstly, just to say welcome back to our current families. It's lovely to see all of you here. I know that the early morning drop-off for some of our younger ones, because for the rest of the school, that's what we've always been doing. And I know that there might be some parents thinking that, it would be great if they could still start a little bit later, but we're trying to make sure that if everyone is on the same schedule, it helps us with our teachers, our lessons and class cover, as we've had to do some changes. So we'd appreciate that we all slowly but surely get into that routine, and making sure that at 7:38 I will be playing the national anthem, and 7:40 that lesson starts. That way the teachers can start with the input lesson, and the kids can get going immediately with the day. Right, so staff, yes, I'm sure you can just imagine the WhatsApp groups, but around Dubai, not just with Al Barsha, that some schools are open, some schools are closed, and I think it is a tricky one. It's one of those where you're either going to make some people happy that we are starting, we're back in routine. Could schools even be a safer bubble than being kept at home if kids will still continue going on play dates, etc., or would be at home be a little bit better? I think our main aim has been as to try and keep things going where we can. All right, so what we currently have, yes, we do have some staff who are not at school if they are either still stuck in their home country, but those classes I have messaged personally, so those parents already knew before school even started today what the situation was. We have organized cover. At the moment, the only subject that is going to have a slight challenge to it is PE, because of our 4 PE teachers, 3 are not at school. But for now, there aren't any PE lessons for the students. The PE teachers will be arriving in bits by bits as they're finishing off their isolation time and getting their fit to fly and clearance certificates. We have some classes, we have also managed to split a bit so that they are within their grade, because everything has to stay within the grade group. That's the zones that we are busy working on. We can't do that where bubbles are involved in the early years, but in upper primary for sure we can move students within classes, keeping the seating arrangements and floor plans so that contact tracing can be done. All above ground, above approval, etc., etc. Schools have started getting visits this morning already from KHDA to make sure that social distancing and wearing of masks are in place, so I'm expecting any moment. So moms and dads, when it's pick-up time or drop-off in the mornings, they like to come visit in the mornings too, you please make sure that you just help with social distancing, and remember to have your masks on if you are choosing to get out the car and coming to the front of the school to drop off. Not in the school, but to the front of the school. To our KG2s this morning, I saw some of you still had moms and dads dropping you off at your class. Hoping maybe that was just for today and that you'll become a little bit more independent. I know our KG1s have been encouraged to be a bit more independent too, and they're doing an awesome job walking themselves to classrooms. And of course, that will also just help with minimizing the amount of people that are coming into school as we try and reduce the amount of people that are coming into school. Students, so we've also had some students who are either waiting for PCR tests, who are still maybe stuck abroad because they're waiting for their clearance or fit to fly certificates. Thank you to all the moms and dads who have been sending in the PCR tests for those of you who've traveled, making sure that it's within the 48-hour period for us, just keeping all safe. I know that there were many of you that just sent your kids for PCR tests, even though you haven't traveled, just to make sure that the community stays safe. So I really appreciate that. Some of you have already yesterday let us know if your child is a close contact or has tested positive. We will put them on distance learning. That is what KHDA comes and checks. They come and check to see that the certificate, either if your child has tested positive, that we've received the result. If your child is a close contact, we have to have a copy of the person who they are a close contact to, with your email stating that you were in contact with the person. That's why you are a close contact, because they monitor all of that to make sure that those are the students who are allowed on distance learning. If there are some of you that are choosing to not send, and because you are not a close contact or you are not COVID positive, please remember that is your family choice, and we will support as best we can, but we cannot register them as a distance learner. Now, for COVID positive and close contacts, as with all the students in the class, our approach to distance learning is not live streaming of classes. That is not, we've moved away from that. In fact, many schools have moved away from that. It's not synchronous teaching. You will receive work posted on Toddle. That's for you to complete. Your teacher, if for example you are off for 5 days because you are quarantining, or you're a close contact and you're only off for 7 days, the teacher will make contact with you online between 2 or 3 times within that week. So that's an example if you are off for five days. The teachers will be posting work on Toddle related to the core subjects. So you won't find PE lessons or art lessons on your Toddle. We will make sure that when your child returns to school, we will make sure that they are up to date. All right, so just to make sure, nothing of that has changed. That was our approach as shared in the beginning of the year, and we will continue with that. For those of you who have said this morning, you've already started phoning school to say the teacher hasn't been in contact with you this morning, let's just all take a breath. We've all only just come back to school, and definitely didn't expect teachers to be on emails last night, although I know some were. So usually if you've notified us, within 1 school working day, we will make sure that we are in contact with you. Please make sure that you send those results through to the teacher, the school secretary, Natasha, and most importantly, the clinic, that you send the information to all of those people so that they are aware. The clinic, the nurse and the doctor will give you a call just to follow up, checking to see if there are any symptoms and to confirm a return date to school and the procedure that needs to be followed. So just please make sure that you've got all of that information. I'll make sure to have the email addresses in the Toddle message attached with this video link. Okay, CCAs. I already went and said hello to our classes this morning, and you can clearly see the grade 5s are excited about wanting to get back to CCAs, because it is the last term 2 for them in their primary school career. As KHDA has shared, for 2 weeks, all schools are not doing internal CCAs and the paid for CCAs, and they will get back to us as to when we are going to start. So as soon as they let us know, we will let you know, as always. I mentioned about starting times, COVID. Welcome, of course, to our new families. We had 19 new children start with us this morning. Welcome to DIA Al Barsha. I know that there are 1 or 2 as also who are stuck in countries because they're waiting for the travel bans to be lifted, and so that they can start, but they are registered with us now and starting. So welcome to our new families. I hope that you've received your messages and that you have access to Toddle, because then you are watching this video. To everyone, as always, let's just make sure that common sense prevails through all, that we take a breather. My biggest worry for today was the rain, because we know how Dubai can come to a standstill with rain. So fingers crossed at the moment, it's looking all right. A little bit of wind that we have here, but the kids actually, when they went out for snack, couldn't stop commenting on, oh, it's so nice to be out and it's cool. So that is how our first part of the morning has started. We'll keep you posted. If you have any serious questions, please feel free as always to reach out, or if it's a question related to your class, please reach out to the class teacher. The teachers who are not in school because they are COVID positive or a close contact are still doing all the lesson prep and planning, and are still available on email for you to make contact with them. All right, so let's see how January goes for 2022. Take care, stay safe, and see you around.